everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Judy and I'm the running so-and-so. So this video is going to be about my dress for my daughter's wedding. You will know if you've watched my earlier videos, I adore atelier brunette. In fact, I adore anything French. What I'm going to do is take you on my journey as I'm making it. So tonight I'm tracing off just the top and I'm going to make a toile out of it. And you might think I'm completely nuts, but I'm going to risk the toile out of some fabric I've got quite a lot of, and it is Moonstone by Atelier Brunette. Got it from a coupon sale. But there is so much of that, there's enough to then make the dress up if it's perfect for a summer version of the dress. So I'm doing the top, the bodice bit only, because Rachel's coming on Friday and she's going to check the fitting for me. If the fitting is right, then I can move on to doing my actual fabric. Maison Fauve actually suggest on their YouTube video for this particular dress that I mark on the fan lines, the design lines, with a friction pen like these. I wanted to check, it says friction. These are the friction pens and they're great because you can actually draw on your fabric and when you iron it takes it out. Magic. First came across these about 7 years ago from a shop, and I'm going to link it in the description bar below once I've checked that it's still there, called 5/8 Seams in Charleston, South Carolina. I love that shop. I had the pleasure of going there when my friend Wendy lived in Charleston. Absolutely delightful place. So the pattern I have is the Zenith dress by Maison Fauve Patterns. There you go. Now what you can't see on that are the beautiful design features. So I'm going to turn it round and you will see, I don't know if you can see it there, I might try and do a close-up, but it's got fan lines that fan out here. So the darts have been moved, they've swung the darts from the normal dart position, they've swung them round to the waistline and then they've put them on as design features up here. Now when I showed Rachel this pattern, she absolutely fell in love with it and she's been waiting for it to come, and I took it down to her house last week so she could have a jolly good look. It's got a simple round neck, zip with a tiny rouleau at the top, and simple sleeves like so. Is tracing off my pattern for my dress, and then we are literally going to trace off the main bits that we need, having decided which size we're going for, and at that point I will then make the toile. Looks absolutely massive, but I now have, if I pull it round here, I'm hoping I'm going to tilt the camera down a little bit more. Red. And I'm going to have to measure to make certain which one is like. The green ones here should match, the red ones are out, but this green to this red one does work. So I'm going to go through now, I'm going to stop the video and carry on. It just seems absolutely huge, but that's what a toile is for. Fabric's ironed, now it's time for cutting out. I'm going to leave the camera going on time lapse and let's see what goes. I'm always going to talk to you about pins. I've discovered when I made my outfit for Tristan's wedding, again when I use nice fabric, that these beautiful pins by Clover, here they are fine pins, about 5 centimetres long, and they're fine, really fine. The only place I can get them, I've got them at the Knitting and Stitching Show and Amazon. Sometimes your local sewing shop will have them. Clover is, I like the Clover brand. I'm a Clover person, not a Prim person. There you go, everybody's different. I like these pins, they're fine, but if you're making something really, really special, get yourself some new pins, because what you don't want to do is to have a blunt pin that pulls the fabric. And they'll just go into the pin cushion. I was always taught you shouldn't put your pins in a pin cushion unless it's full of bran, because bran won't blunt the pins, whereas like a man-made wadding or polyester filling will blunt your pins. Hi there. So I'm just getting ready to start on my Zenith dress for the wedding. I've been for another run this morning and I've just got on with it. I have done all my tests. I'm going to show you here. I've threaded the oval. Go backwards and forwards and cut it out. So this is a test for focusing. This I've done seam tests. Do you know, it's always worth it. Loads of times. Anyhow, done loads and loads of testing. Now I bought the whole lot from AB in Paris. So my buttons, my buttons, my zip, my thread, my binding, it's all right. It's all the colour. So I've got no issues, because literally this is Saturday, the wedding's on Friday. I'm not stressing, I can't be bothered. Literally gone bonkers with the friction pen. Is it coming into focus? I hope you can see it. And now I'm going to iron it. It says if you iron it, it'll come out. And I've got my little ironing board on one edge of the table. I've got half my sewing table up and half my sewing table down. Yes, it has gone. There we go. I don't think you can see it, but literally it went. I'm gonna... Right, back on with the Zenith dress. It's in the living room. I'll bring it through and show you in a minute. It's got all the front pleats done, which are the external darts. It's joined together at the shoulders and the side seams, and I've done the back opening. I'm now going to join together the skirt. I've actually got the KB Peeps Hangout on in the background. So I'm just going to leave you running, and then I'll put you onto time lapse, and I'm just going to carry on sewing and making my dress. So I want you to see that I do actually sew. will do is to pin my zip on, and then I tack it in before I then fold it back. So I tack it in, iron the seam open, lay it on, tack it onto the seam allowances, and then when I've got it tacked in place on the seam allowances, I open it up, and then you revert to basically the folding you're at the point where you open the zip up and sew it down, which is the bit you get to pretty quickly when you're using the way a lot of the patterns tell you to do this. And I have got on here the invisible zipper foot that my machine company does. The funniest thing about the Bernina is that it does like you to tell it. Well, it certainly does on my Bernina, but it's using stick foot number 35. And if you don't tell it what foot number you're using and it doesn't recognise it, it won't sew. Quite often you go shout to get the machine. Then I get told, why on earth have we given our mother technology?
Correct.
Hannah is cheering because we've just had the hot water boiling tap mended. When we had the kitchen redone 4 years ago, I put in as much technology as I could afford, and one of the big things was to put in a hot water boiling tap, which I absolutely adore, and the lovely man from Frankie in Manchester has just come to mend it. In fact, he's actually replaced the tank again, and it's my, oh gosh, my third tank, which is a bit sad, but second tap, third tank, but bless him, he was absolutely lovely and just said, I'm not even going to try and mend it for you, Mrs. Watson, I'm just going to put you a new tank on. Kept trying to tell the people that we bought the tap from, the people that are subcontracted to mend the tap, they're the people that actually made it. They kept saying to me, oh, well, you need to de-line scale it, and I was like, yeah, but it won't turn on. The tap won't turn on. Thanks, Anna.
You want to go outside?
It just won't turn on. We're going to do this again. You're going to have to watch Maggie. Oh, she's gone. We had this great video when Maggie wouldn't go outside once when it was raining, but I think because Nathan, the tap guy's been outside this morning, she's got to go and check that Nathan's left the house the way that he found it.
Do you want to go back in? You don't like the rain, do you?
So, all being well, I'm going to turn this through. I'm being very bold here doing this on camera, Hannah. I know the bottom of my zip needs sorting because I've left it exposed at the bottom. That is to ensure that
You got it, Mum.
it needs ironing, but there you go. It is absolutely, it's typically viscose. I'm really quite pleased with that. I'd like to iron it now though and iron the seam. So now I just have to do the bottom, and the reason that you leave the bottom open is so that you can get a really good finish at the bottom. So here we go. I am back now with my Zenith dress. I'm going through the, I'm being picky now because look here, I haven't ironed that properly. That needs a re-iron, but the ones down the centre have. I've been working on the neckline, which is now lying flat. I've hot hemmed the hem, just letting it drop a little bit more, and then I'll take it back to the ironing board. I'm happy with the sleeves. The viscose is very, 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 very fragile to work with, but I'm really pleased with the finished result. It doesn't hang properly on my dress form. I need to alter it slightly, but it's on there.